Hey, Mommy. Welcome to the Mommy Collective podcast. I'm Paulina, and this is your space, the No BS All Vibes podcast for ambitious moms who know that motherhood and big dreams go hand in hand. Whether you're killing it in the boardroom, hustling on your side gig, or just trying to get through the day without reheating your coffee for the third time, and yes, girl, we've all been there, this is the place for you. We're here to flip the script on the whole you can't have it all narrative, because spoiler alert, you can. Motherhood doesn't dim your ambition, it actually fuels it. And we're going to talk all about it, the wins, the struggles, and the moments that make you say, damn, I am really doing this. So buckle up, boo. We're diving into real talk, inspiration, and the occasional hot take to keep you fired up and thriving. This is the Mommy Collective. Let's do this.
We are back. Mommy Collective. We're just diving into it. It's kind of what I do. I just jump into the conversation because it's always a good one. And I'm so excited. I've got my girl, Tamara Edwards, on today. How are you?
Hello. The fact that I get to see you today just makes my day so much better. And then we're going to record it and all that fun stuff. But hello, I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you. So you are a newish mom. Are we at 4 months?
4 months. Yeah.
We were talking kind of off the air, you're past the 3-month bump, whatever that is. You're past it. You are, you're thriving. First of all, I'm so proud of you because I know how hard this shit is. So I am so proud of you, and you look beautiful. You look amazing. So got 2 things going for you. You're past 3 months and you look gorgeous.
Well, we got our mornings back. That was this week marks the new routine. We are fortunate enough to have a nanny support us, which is very, very lucky, very fortunate. I know some people have family members or staff, or truly it takes a village. And, it's expensive for anybody, but we did start our new routine at the 4-month mark, just to sort of set the tone now that things are a little bit more familiar, but still very foreign at the same time. Yes. So Mama got ready today.
I love it. Gorgeous. So do you mind giving us a little bit of a background kind of about you and the work that you do, and then obviously about mom life, sort of, obviously we have a 3-month-old. His name is Jason, right?
Yeah. Yep. Little Jason. Yeah.
Jason, what a cutie. So yeah, tell us about yourself for those who may not be as familiar.
Yeah, I'm in my mid-30s. I'll be 36 very soon, and just had a baby who is now 4 months old, had him in February. And I'm so thankful that it's warm out and we can go on walks in the morning. We were doing walks and sometimes it was a little too cold. But before I had my baby, I was on a 2-year IVF journey that really kind of opened my eyes to a lot of different things. Honestly, the universe has my back, and I had to want being a mom. I didn't want to have kids. I'm very career oriented. I was a very, very ambitious staffer in the United States Congress for a number of years. And a lot of my identity is and was, and it served me well, was reporting, my role to the congressman. It's a 24-hour, all-consuming sort of job. I did administrative roles. I was sort of the business term for executive assistant. They called it a scheduler, where I managed the congressman's schedule, the office, and through that lens, you really kind of protect the brand of the congressman, even from how he shows up, he or she shows up interpersonally and publicly. And so very naturally, because my boss at the time was very externally focused, PR, telling stories, we were very focused on foreign policy, energy and commerce, nuclear energy, all kinds of complex issues. He wanted to stand out and fight for his constituents. And so through that role, evolved into sort of a hybrid of supporting comms role for our office, and got to help run a very big public profile. At one year, we were on Sunday shows on a regular basis, which is this tone setting of the news that week. And then, woke up one day and wanted to switch it up. And so really do the same thing now, but for people in the business community. And I share those stories through them, through their companies, through their individual, industries, whatever it is. I'm working on a foreign aid project right now, storytelling to educate people more about the importance of foreign aid, all the way to small businesses and individuals who are just looking to sort of expand their visibility in their corporate jobs or in their local communities. And so, being an all-consuming professional and then being told to stop and go through IVF was an interesting sort of window into a new way of life. And now being a mom is a very new way of life, and my business is thriving. So how do I sort of balance it out? So that's who you're meeting here today. That's who I am today. I'm really in the middle of figuring out the new era. I've had success, I've had failure, I've gotten it right, I've gotten it wrong, and I'm going to do it all over again in like this new era.
So exciting. No, yeah, you've always been, in my eyes, like just a super ambitious person, right? Somebody who like you love working with people, and like you always have your hands in like these just really incredible projects, whether you say like it's individuals or it's like businesses, community leaders. Like I've seen you work with so many people. So now I feel like, well, now it's like you're super focused on like family life, right? And it's like a whole different side of you that like even I'm seeing on social, the way that you show up or just even talking to you. So I think it's like incredible that you're kind of able to do both, because we all know that's not easy. And then number two, still wanting to continue that success, still wanting to build what you've built, even pre-baby, right? And I think it's incredible that you're doing it all, because again, it's not easy. So, and your 2-year IVF journey, that's something that I followed you like kind of with on social, but I really want to dive into that as well if you're okay with that, because I think it's so important. So kind of take us back to the moment that you decided that you were going to pursue, right, IVF, but also kind of that moment of realizing that like, okay, this isn't happening naturally, because that was actually my situation too for about a year.
Oh, wow.
And then it did, because I was going to pursue it as well. And then it did. And then, I mean, I'm always transparent. Like I ended up taking like Manjaro because I'm insane. And then I was like, I'm not getting pregnant. It's not happening. Guess who got pregnant? So I'm not saying it happened that way, but I'm saying like, and then I read other stories and I was like, this is crazy that a lot of people are claiming the same thing. I had no idea. I just took Manjaro because I wanted to lose weight. But then I was like, okay, but my other, like the side of it was just like, I was going to reach out to my doctor. I already kind of did. We started talking about things, and I'll get into like kind of what she told me. And there were like steps even prior to IVF. She was like, we would do this, this, and this first.
Yeah.
So I would love to kind of hear your story of like how all of this happened, right? And obviously giving other moms hope, because I think that's so important.
Yeah. A lot comes to mind. First of all, one of my really good friends is sort of taking a break from IVF and, sort of mirroring your experience. And then I'm super excited and happy to share my experience, if, only by virtue, if it helps other people, and I'm happy to sort of relive it or just normalize the conversation. But I will say, yeah, it's a riddle me this, and it's easy to get marketed to. It's easy to get very, very lost in it. So my friend who's taking a break, or like you were pursuing it and then something else happened, it's no two stories are alike. And so that makes it very, very challenging. And you really have to understand that it's an isolating experience, because nobody's going to have your experience, and everyone's going to offer something that they know, or the well wishes, or how are you feeling, or my friend got pregnant. And it's like, you kind of, do you talk about it? Do you not? And I'm for talking about it, even though sometimes things come back at you when you open up that sort of, call it woo-woo portal, that you're not equipped for, the right timing, but at the same time, just comparing notes is very helpful, but it's also very challenging because, right, do you go the natural route and just like heal your whole body and go vegan and just suddenly become a very different person? And I think there is a wellness and, component to becoming pregnant. I think we're in a very high stress world, more than we realize. We're all used to it. But if you think about those times you like take a vacation and unplug from your life, you're like, wow, I do so much. But when you're living it, it ain't no thing. And so it's just, there's 100 million ways. And our way was, really guided by my husband. I felt no pressure to do it. It wasn't like forced into it, but this was the route that we decided, but it was the best route because it seemed to have the highest probability, but that doesn't mean that that's true for every single person. Because I know very, very unlucky people who have had very, very hard experiences. So I will say we were, as challenging as it was, and I don't wish it upon anybody, we came out with a beautiful, perfect little baby. Our labor was great. My pregnancy was great. How we got to that moment where thousands of needles and hundreds of appointments were involved and thousands of dollars. And I'm so comfortable talking money because I think it's important that we, again, normalize these things.
Mm-hmm.
Was a year after we decided on our wedding that we were going to wait a year. My husband was like ready to go. And I was like, just give me a year. And like, we've been together for a couple of years. And I was sort of pushing it off because I had to like wrap my mind around it, to be honest. And that was something I was willing to do. And again, it wasn't like my dream, but it wasn't something I was like against. But for him, it was his absolute dream. So the fun part is we get to have new dreams now and new goals. And I think that's the fun part about life. So yeah, push came to shove. We were getting pregnant naturally in like 2 months. We were like, what the hell? Right. I thought it would happen very quickly. I had an IUD for about 10 years. And my OBGYN put me through, sent me to an MRI scan so I can get the official diagnosis that I had an overactive pituitary gland, which starts in the brain and is kind of right here, which is a hormone imbalance, which prevented me from actually getting pregnant naturally. Insurance and doctors put us on new meds. That was personality altering. And that was about 6 months before we started doing IUIs. We did 3 unsuccessful IUIs. And the quick cliff note of IUIs is it's basically an insemination closest to your your eggs to create an embryo. So we didn't lose, and my heart breaks for anybody who has had miscarriages or loses a baby. I don't know what I would do if I had gone through that experience. We just weren't able to get pregnant after sort of the cocktail of egg-inducing cocktail happened for me, and then nobody really latched on into an embryo. This is not technical terms, obviously. Fast forward another year later, we're moving and grooving, and we finally get to the extraction phase where we ended up with 2 viable embryos. And then we did the frozen embryo transfer. And fortunately, like a year ago, literally, I was pregnant. I was about 5 weeks technically pregnant. And after the 12 weeks, we graduated from the clinic and went into normal OBGYN. And I say this to everybody of like our day one at OBGYN was really appointment number 110 or something like that of the overall experience.
Wow.
So it's a rich and poor man's sport at the same time. It's very expensive. It's very time consuming. I'm a pretty smart person. I'm a pretty tough cookie. It was truly life altering, but it put me in a position to have to really think, do I want this? Do I want what, where is my life going? I mean, it really came, we had those difficult conversations where, in those low moments, it's like, go find someone who could just get pregnant if they want it so bad. I mean, you really get to an end point in this process of, and it really puts your life on hold. So, 4 months ago, our baby came and now I get to not only be not on hormones, I get to enjoy my life again in ways I wasn't, but, sort of allowed to before. I don't have to inject myself with a needle every day. And I just get to like have fun and live my life all over again. So it sort of felt like a pause on your life, even though life was still going and there's so many happy memories that happened in between, but inside there's just like a layer or 2 or 3 that you're just not quite yourself. And so I'll say just big picture, what really got me through was one of my best friends. Her name is Arsiak Vartinian, who's a true like legend in so many ways beyond fertility, but is also now starting a business where she's coaching and creating community for people like me who have experienced infertility, people going through it, and beyond. She's on Instagram at Arsiak, Arsiak, but she reminded me as a personal friend, just keep going. It's worth it. Just keep going. It's worth it. And I would say that was the mantra that got me through.
Yeah.
Because I really wouldn't even wish it on my worst enemy, but I will say it was a study in how resilient a person could be.
100%. Well, thank you so much for, first of all, sharing that. I love that you're you've always been such an open person. You know what I mean? Like you're not shy at all when it comes to storytelling. And I love that you're able to share that because I think a lot of women can relate to that. And like you said, there's no one path. Like you said, this happens and then this happened for this person. Like everyone's so different and there's so many layers to certain things, right?
Can I add to that? You get bombarded with information. I mean, is it
Oh,
acupuncture? Is it hormones? Is it what you eat? Is it what you breathe? Is it the career that you chose? Is it the stress? Is it the, remove this from your diet, hydrate more? Someone said they have a cold uterus, so like stay warmer through the day. Don't let your body temperature get cold. Like all these things that may be factors and are factors. And you really, again, it's so isolating because you just like I paid a personal trainer $3,000 of money that like I don't have $3,000 just to give away. I don't know anybody who does. I mean, but that was very expensive because his wife, who was doing my hair at the time, said that they've healed women. And so I got sold to in a very gross way
mm,
because you're as a parent now, but even like you'll throw in money at the situation if you can, even if you don't have it, right? So
yes.
it's vulnerable. It's extremely vulnerable,
100%.
emotionally, financially, and people prey on that. And I'm not saying everyone's evil. They have their own point of view. I got really bad information that you learn to kind of filter out. And I think that's just life in general, though.
100% agree with that. And like, yeah, you're right. Like when you are feeling vulnerable or you are feeling anxious for something, right? Or you're feeling like I don't even want to use the word desperate, but like you're feeling like this is something that you want.
Out of your
Like
hand. Yeah.
100%. Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of what I probably spent money on stupid shit. I mean, I went to get like tested and
Please. Yeah.
no, like I went to get tested and this was happening to me. And so my gyno, I forgot how this started, but she told me that I have like, I don't know, like high, it was like my blood work had like elevated something. I don't even remember what it was called. Basically meaning
Yeah.
like I might get like more hair, like as far as like prone to getting like I mean you'd have to have like extremely high levels for
Yeah.
like chin hair, stuff like that. And like I literally have one chin hair and I pluck it every week between you and I. But like I was like, oh my God, like this is why it's not happening for me. So I made it a doctor's appointment with a specialist. It was like 6 months out, this whole thing, or like 5 months out. And I went and she was quite literally like, why are you here? And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, but like my thing is elevated, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I see that. She goes, but like, it won't affect your fertility unless like we're here. Like
Yeah.
you're here. So I'm over here like freaking out. But number two, like really thinking of like everything. Like what can it be? Like I stopped like microwaving food, right? I
Yeah. Yeah.
stopped
Yeah. And all of
plastic.
that is probably helpful. I mean,
Correct.
but you have to sort of look around and say what toxins or what can be measured. Like you just have to go and jump in and it's very confusing. It's very confusing.
100%. Yes. And like it can be frustrating too when it is that confusing,
Yeah.
because then you're like, but if it's this, it's that. And then like I'm sure you were so tired of hearing certain things too, like it'll happen when you least expect it. If you just
Yeah.
relax, if you go on a vacation, why don't you just get drunk and just like have fun and
Yeah,
like
yeah, forget about it. Yeah, yeah. I will say, I will say, by the way, your cheekbones are cheekboning as always, and I love this little blush color on you. It's gorgeous.
can I be honest?
But
It's just my skin, I swear.
it's gorgeous. No,
I'm
you
I'm
have
a
a glow.
red woman. I'm like red.
No, you're not. You have like a glow. She's like,
Thank you.
I will say the for me and my experience alone, and again, by virtue if this just helps people, it really did the lessons that I learned outside of the science that we follow, the rigorous procedures that you go through, where you're just a petri dish. I remember being so pissed off sometimes with certain ultrasound techs, and I think I'm a pretty like grateful person. And but I would just if I had questions, they're not like legally allowed to answer them, and I'd be like, ah! Right, like
Yes.
so. There's a lot of like again like that sort of personality takeover. But if it's helpful to anybody, I think for me it was the ultimate lesson in slowing down and finding ways to actually like de-stress, and really separating the first time in my life going through something that's
Yeah.
very private, figuring out how to talk about it with people, and then figuring out how it, sort of showed up or in my like other spheres of life, in my professional sphere, in my personal sphere. And all of this goes together at the end of the day. But I will say it created more space for me to feel all of the emotions in a way that like maybe I wasn't willing to because I was so consumed by my work for so long. So there's like a tinge of beauty in it that I actually like kind of appreciate because it really made me sit still and think about what I want. And maybe that's just part of growing up. So maybe one had to do with the other, or maybe it was just the timing. But I think that that was for me, like very much part of the process, that the universe does have my back. And I needed to learn those lessons of like, hey, when a baby comes, like your business needs to be ready and your business can't rely on me being plugged in 24 hours a day. Right. And that was like very much the business I started with, let's say, when I started the process, if that makes sense.
100%.
And then I think for you, it's like we're young, we have careers, and when is the right time? And then
Yes.
all of a sudden there's maybe a delay or a pause. So it sort of interrupts the flow of things in a way that's kind of indescribable.
No, yeah, I sometimes still I'm still finding my flow a little bit. And it's been over a year, and I'm still
Which
kind
is
of
so
like,
beautiful.
like I'm recording this and she's napping and I'm like, okay, but I'm like intentionally kind of planning it that way. And again, babies, kids, unpredictable, so
Yeah.
don't get, overwhelmed or stressed if it doesn't work out according to your plan. But I'm still trying to find that flow. It's hard. It's really hard, but trying to make
There
it
is
work.
there is no flow. And a friend of mine this morning said, because I was sharing like the 3 month was probably the most challenging in my adult life that I've been through. And I think we all have highs and lows and seasons and chapters. So let's just actually put the word in the middle of the room of like a mild form of depression that maybe everybody goes through, maybe some, maybe none. But for me, I really haven't had like consistently obsessive, negative, almost too worried about everything. I mean, if someone didn't call me back, I'm like, are we even friends? Right. If I needed to get something done and I couldn't get it done within the context or the hours of my working schedule, I was frustrated with a partner who wasn't getting back to me because that set, domino effect on some other work. So it's like, and then I sort of went into these little tailspins. I mean, these bouts over the last couple of weeks. And some of that was, you got to get people to jump and recognize that the way that we interacted before is different. Like I'm different now. So processing that on my own, but also having your community of partners, colleagues, friends recognize that the relationship is different now. Like that's so much to go through. And, your time is cut and mom brain. And does it feel like you're slipping behind? So it's just so much. It's just so much to go through. And like, all I can say is I'm thankful for going through it and then I'm realizing, and you just said it, like there really isn't any predictability here. So
No.
just tapping into resilience. So I've actually been monitoring the last few days, like I am safe, I am present, I am happy, I'm here. Like life's good, but it doesn't feel like that all the time. It feels like stress and intensity, and that's just the way it is. And I think that's just motherhood. And what I love about the Mommy Collective is this sort of idea of like rebranding. I love having these conversations. And my friends who are pregnant, I'm like, hey, month 3 sucked for me, just a heads up, mama.
Oh, I love a good heads
Here
up.
for you. I'm going to come over and sit my ass on your couch and hold your baby because that's all I want my friends to do. I get
Same.
it now.
No, 100%. Yeah. I mean, you can't be mad at yourself too, like prior to like what you knew. Like obviously like we're women, so I think we kind of already had a good idea of what motherhood could look like. But to be honest, like I know I should have been there more for certain people. I own that, but I'm also going to give myself grace because you don't know until you know. It's just the truth. Like how would I
But
know?
now we know.
100%. Who did you find yourself leaning to on? I know you mentioned one of your friends, but where did you find support when you were going through all this?
Yeah, it's funny. I would say in one of my most challenging sort of it was all these different arenas of life that I was frustrated with. I was frustrated with my friends who I felt like some of them really didn't show up, and I was very hurt by that. And then I was fixated on that. And then I was like, why am I obsessing? I have such a long-standing friendship with this person. If they can't be there for me right now, then okay. Like that's like the end feeling. But the through was this person's not my friend, and I felt like abandoned. Right. So dramatic, but that's how I felt.
Of course.
So I kept that. I kept that to myself. I journaled, so I relied on myself for some of those things, because the last thing I want is to have some like argument or confrontation when I'm like in an emotional state. When I'm in my mid-30s, my friends are, some of them are very like successful corporate people, like they're busy. They're not, coming and making lasagna for me every day because they're busy and they have full lives and they can't just stop. So, it's like that balance of like, right. And then letting time just heal. I would say in my marriage, that was probably the most challenging, even though like my husband's honestly one of the good ones, because I socialized my frustrations with him with women, and then I socialized it with men. And I'm sorry to beat this drum, but men told me I was crazy and obsessive. Couple men, guy friends, gay, straight, older, young, fathers, not fathers. And that was just like the male point of view, that I was hormonal, right? Which is 100% true. So let's just leave it there. When I socialized it with women, every woman shared their perspective of what I was going through, and that your marriage changes because you're suddenly like keeping score. I just saw a Michelle Obama clip of like, you're keeping score and you're golfing, is what she said about, especially when they're young, because it just feels like the tasks are enormous. So I made a baby chore chart for my husband, and we like follow that during nap time. So, so you kind of, I think self-regulating was the best way. I know that's very challenging for a lot of people. So I am returning back to executive coaching and therapy. And so I just started those this month just to sort of sort it out. And I was sort of like really independently running for a long time. So I can't sit there and say there's been one person that has brought deep comfort. It takes a village. But I will say my relationship with the baby is the most rewarding. So I think that's also what's very cool is like, and I think any mom ideally says like when they're with their baby, like everything else washes away. So that was the agreement I made with myself, where it's like when I'm with him, I'm 100%. And then when I'm away from him, I have to really, really, really structure and focus my time and my energy. So the way I did that was just sort of like, again, that self-regulation of like, what do I want to accomplish professionally, personally, physically, what does friendship mean? So just reassessing everything. And I'm still paging through this chapter of like beginning chapter of what everything looks like. But, there's been comfort from people and friends here and there, but I would say overall, I really had to like lean on myself. And I think that was something I still have to remember now, like getting ready, getting out of the house, detaching from him. I mean, our nanny supports us 20 to 25 hours a week. That's not a lot to go run a business and live a life that doesn't include, having a small child with me. So, and then figuring out where he's incorporated, I'm practicing like French mom experience, like the baby doesn't guide me, I guide the baby. Right. So we could talk about that too. But yeah, I mean, who did you lean on? Cause you're really close with your mom. And I know, I can't sit there and say my partner wasn't supportive, but yeah, I'd love to hear how you navigated that too, just to compare notes, honestly.
Oh my God, of course. And I love talking about this, but like, and you're so sweet for asking, but like, honestly, same thing. Like, I am a fan of help in the village and anybody that wants to come over. But for me, my mom and my mother-in-law are like number one. And I know that's again, like a blessing. And I'm very grateful for that because they were over like every day when she was born and, obviously got a little bit less as she got older, but I always make a joke that like I could be outside at the bar in like 3 hours, like just give me a heads up and I'm there because like I live close to them. I live 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
But that was intentional. Like I knew I was going to stay in this neighborhood, but like we could have moved somewhere else. But I was like, no, we're going to be like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. We're all going to know each other and live by each other.
Yeah.
And I was like very much okay with that. Plus my husband, we have to live in the city. So it was like fine. And like I was like, okay, we're gonna do that. So like a lot of it was like pre-planned, intentional, and then like my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law is my fucking angel. Like if I'm ever on life support, I'm call her because she is just like I couldn't do this without. I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. I couldn't work anything. My husband's a fireman, but he works a lot, so it's like he's also great though too. And then
well, those are long shifts. Those are what is he doing? 24-hour shifts.
24 hours.
Yeah, they're gone, and then they're home. right? And there's that balance, but they're gone, they're gone. This isn't like, honey,
Nope.
come home from work real quick and drop off the whatever, you know.
No, they're gone. So I'm just like, damn. And then I was actually hiring a part-time nanny, like super like couple hours. Like I just wanted to buy back some time. That was truly
Yeah.
it. And I, like you said, in perspective, 20 hours a week, whatever, is not a lot to run a business. So like, I was like, okay, I'm aware, but my business isn't really where I want it to be, but let me try to buy back a couple hours a week. So I was going to hire, and I still like might, but I asked my sister-in-law first, and I was just like, you can tell me no. And I was like, I know I'm a pain in your ass. And I was like, but you know, if I pay you, like, would you essentially nanny for us? Cause like, otherwise I'll pay someone else, but I kind of would rather pay you.
Family.
Cause she's
Yeah.
actually, she's like not working right now. So it kind of works out for me. And I was just like, hey, I'd rather give you a couple of dollars. And I was like, but be honest, because she's like 24. I'm like,
Yeah.
like you're living your life. Like I'm probably the biggest pain in your ass right now. So like, be honest. And she was like, I would love to. So like, she comes and helps, and like,
Yeah.
it always works out where there's like somebody, and like, listen, girl, I don't judge. Like I got Miss Rachel on sometimes if I need that 20 minutes, if I literally have to go to the bathroom or just like cook really quick or answer some emails, like Miss Rachel, she's on. We're on with Miss Rachel. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I need that. And I don't like, that doesn't bother me. She can have her 20 minutes of television. That doesn't, I don't know. I'm no expert, but like, I just don't care. But yeah, I kind of lean in on people and friends too. Sometimes, you know, I have friends who have babies like close to her age. But to be honest, it's really hard. And I'm wondering if you're going to come across this too, of just like having play dates and all that. I schedule them, but like, if I'm going to be completely honest, and I feel like you might relate, it sounds so bad, but it's like, if I know that I got like these 2 hours, right? And it's like, we could go on a play date, we could do this, but I can also work on my business for these 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
all about like scheduling and balancing and like, well, what should I be doing right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there right now I'm a creative person. I think you are too. That's probably why we genuinely get along and admire each other, because there's like a serious business determination that you have that I see, that I fucking respect. There's hustle, I mean, you just bring it home. And but also there's so much creativity in there, right? Which requires thinking, which requires, you know, I don't have a specific creative process other than like unstructured time, like a long walk, the right podcast, the right temperature, the right song can spark really great ideas. There's also a lot of heads down, hardcore focus work that I have to do. My job is public relations. I work at the industry level. I work with businesses, large and small, the largest being a $450 million international development company, all the way to, I'm working actually a meeting later today with a young mom who has been so successful as a hairstylist and is creating products now. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get in with her and like everybody,
Awesome.
right? So, everybody gets the same treatment from me, like total focus. And I really spend a lot of time. So all of that to say is, it's that trade-off. So right now, I don't know if this is going to last forever, but I am on a hardcore schedule. And so from X hours, baby wakes up at 6 on average, from 6 to 7:30 is like 100% baby time. 7:30 to 9, I hand him to either my husband or the nanny, and I go work out. I go move my body. I go outside because I am not naturally a very thin person. So working out, exercise, body. Plus I love it. Plus I want it. Plus I need it. Plus life.
Totally.
Plus holding a baby is like hard on your, your shoulders and your back.
We have like big boobs. So we're like,
yeah, already like more weight down. And then from like 9 to noon is, depending on the day, is a certain like work schedule or a certain baby schedule. Again, there's sort of like different sort of set up for the day. So it's like, I'm like really accounting to your point. So when I'm kind of like coming up for air, I can like have this like sense of direction of like, what should I do now? Oh, it's work time. Oh, it's baby time. So I'm really trying to compartmentalize these things, because when I'm with baby, I don't want to be thinking about work. When I'm at work, I want to know my baby's okay. I actually even told my husband, or asked my husband, but reminded him twice now, please don't text me that the baby is fussy, right? Handle it, like soothe the baby. I don't know why he's fussy because he's not that fussy with me, but I'm mom, he's me, we're one. And men and dads have to figure it out on their own. It's just like, I can't step in. And so, yeah, just don't text me the state of the baby unless it's positive while I'm in my work mode, because then I don't want to be here anymore, you know? So just really compartmentalizing, and then doing everything in my power to stay focused while I'm working, and staying incredibly organized. So even Fridays are like low stimulation days for me and the baby. I mean, I'm on a schedule where I can kind of organize the fridge, the meal prep, the plan, so we can eat healthy and get our protein in. And we can, plan out the next week, what needs to be done today. Is it a simple calendar link? Is it, or, meeting link? Is it advanced prep notes, like high focus, and then leaving room for unstructured time, and obviously spending as much time as possible with the little baby, and then not feeling guilty about handing him off to somebody a few hours a week. It's just such a bizarro thing. But what's really come back is Moms on Call was very helpful. And that's just a resource, a book that was a recommendation from one of my friends that helps give you, like, offers a schedule, structure for the baby that's best for their age. So that's been very helpful. I started there. I figured where do I fit in that? And then where do the nannies fit? Where's my husband? And where am I during the week? Right. And I'm actually kind of like, I was feeling really guilty yesterday, Sunday, because what's today? Tuesday? So 2 days ago, Sunday, I was like, I have free time and I don't know what to do with it. We went to the farmer's market, and then the rest of the day I was like, what do I do with my time? So even just remembering my goals and saying, hey, actually, no, this is your downtime. So just kind of figuring that out, and figuring out the practice. And I don't know if I'll stay. I'm not a robot. But just trying to have like a direction every hour by hour, and still having breathe time and friend time. I'm trying to like write a schedule that gets me all of the satisfaction that I need. Because if I don't have social time, I'm just like not the same person. I'm like, oh, I have no friends. And I don't want to live. It's very important to me not to live in like a virtual world, right?
No, 100%. Well, first of all, like, you're doing amazing. That's incredible. Because that's hard already. Like, like, I know that not every day or not everything is always going to go as planned. And like, I'm like, you're aware of that. But it's like the fact that, like, you are just really trying your best to sort of like set yourself up where you can be as successful as you can be in each part of your life, right? I think it's the best we can do as moms. And if it doesn't go that way, it's okay. And like, we all know that. Like, I think as moms, it's so important to give ourselves grace. And the fact, though, that you are like kind of scheduling and pre-planning and premeditating these things, I think is important too. And even like, don't come at me, moms, but I do feel like it can also help. Like, weirdly, I think it helps. I'm not type A by any means, but to know like, okay, 2:00, we're going to try nap. I'm going to do this. We're going to do that. Like, it really helps me just be a better mom, because I know that like I'm handling X, Y, Z, and then I'm going to have baby time later.
Yeah. And being present and enjoying the pleasure of the moment that my baby's laughing or sleeping so cute, or I get to connect with him. I mean, any moms listening, that when you get in their face and you're just like, you're talking to them and they light up, and then like you just want to stay there forever, right? Like I want to be there. I want to create those sensory experiences for him, and show him how to spin the little block wheel thingy and then watch him get better at it every time. Like, that's the coolest thing in the world. And I want to like be present for that. And then, and then when I'm not working, when I'm not with him, I'm like so focused. So I'm not behind on my work. Right. I said to my husband the other day, I'm like, I'm officially caught up. We're not ahead of it, but we were feeling like we were behind for a while because, he's a newborn.
Totally. And I hate when that person's like, just wait. No, it's not even that. It's just, you're going to see, and I know you probably heard this from other moms too, like every stage is so different. So like what you have going on now, you're going to adjust it. You're going to reroute a couple of things, because you'll see like, okay, he's only napping now once a day. Oh, now we're starting to crawl and walk. So like maybe like me, for example, when she started walking and crawling, or not really, because she didn't really crawl, but like walking, like okay, like now I know that like I can't really be doing this anymore. Like I can't be just answering emails and she's just like laying there like this. Like
Yeah.
we're not doing that
Yeah,
anymore. Like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
actually moving. So it's like different things. And like once he starts eating salads, it's just like you're gonna like see different
Yeah.
parts of your life, where it'll change things, right? And like I said, the one nap, it'll like for me, it changed a couple things because I'm like, well, I don't have those two gaps anymore. Now it's just one, and
Oh,
just like
yeah.
different stuff like that, you know. But like I think you're
Scared
gonna
the food.
the what?
The food, like I don't just him, they're gonna like choke, they're gonna like they have to learn. They're gonna, like
Scares the
freaking
shit out
out
of
just
me.
thinking
I
about
know.
it.
I know. I'm always like, oh, girl, no, 100%. But I love this. I think you've set up, it's a foundation that you've set up for yourself. And plus,
Yeah.
like, as a mom who's running a business, right? As a mom who is creative as hell and always, you're always like in your entrepreneurship bag. Like, you got the hat on, like, you're always like thinking, I know you, even if you're watching TV, your wheels are turning. You're like, what can I do with this idea? It's just like how we think.
Yeah.
I think it's so important when you have a baby and you introduce a child into like your family, into your life, like, I think you can absolutely do both. You can do anything you want to do. It's just all about like setting up that time and honestly being a little selfish with it. Like I've had
Yeah.
to say no to shit. Like I've never said no to people or things, but not only am I exhausted, so I'm not going to make it to like your happy hour, but like, is this going to benefit me? And maybe that's selfish. I don't know, but it's like, is this going to benefit me? Or do I just want to go out and have drinks, right? Like, do I want to do this?
Yeah. The words selfish and guilt and self-care seem to be kind of this mixed bag of this space that we create for ourselves or we're encouraged to create for ourselves of kind of putting what we want first. And I'll say it really just occurred to me very recently that and something I've known for a long time as a person is like I will determine how I want to interact with the world. From a business standpoint, I'm so grateful for the work I have and like hustled my fucking ass off to get here. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, even if I didn't have like a very, very strong pipeline and really great clients and all of that, I still like work will always be there in some capacity. So I can make that, I can make it 100% of my life or I can make it 30% of my life. That's kind of what I was toying with over the last year or so of how I interact with work. And if that means a small dip in income, I just have to build a better business so I can meet my financial goals. So it's been really fun to reimagine what service looks like, what my menu looks like, how I engage with my clients and what I sell. And I think that's healthy to think about how you can still achieve your goals financially, personally, professionally, but in a certain fraction of the time, right? And then the rest of the time, right? Like what else goes into that? And there's only 24 hours in a day, right? So how do I want to interact with my friends? And how do I want to interact with my business? And how do I want to interact with my baby? How do I want to interact with my partner? Like I have been down my husband's throat. And I think most women like go through this if you are in a partnership where you're like, hello, romance, like we need to connect. I married you for a reason. And co-parenting and raising a child, it's such an adjustment on and such a strain on the relationship. Again, that Michelle Obama clip where it's like, you're suddenly keeping score and you're suddenly having like a different set of like responsibilities and you're figuring out it's glaring the things you don't like about your partner during this process. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Likewise, right? I can see the way he looks at me. He does not come to bed. I mean, we're not getting divorced he's my best friend, my partner forever, but like we're in a season right now where I'm like, I'm going to bed early and he's like, bye. Like he needs his downtime. He works full time. All of that to say is like really remembering that I can sort of decide how I want to show up and when and how I can write my own terms. And that's something I really want people to think more about. And again, this idea of like not losing your identity and rebranding motherhood and what the Mommy Collective is all about is, is reminding people like that self-care or guilt is something that you're going to feel. And I'm not a psychologist, and I haven't even talked to my therapist about this, but I'm like, I want to set myself up so when I'm feeling guilt, I can have the right tools to process that, because there ain't nothing fucking wrong with me fucking going to my fucking friend's house or a show or a concert or getting my nails done or doing my makeup or letting the baby cry for 2 minutes and taking a minute to myself to go to the bathroom. I mean, it's like, right. It's and like not that none of that makes me a bad person or a bad mom and all that. So just managing guilt, and being selfish. And my friend Amanda said it perfectly, like a happy mom is a happy home. And this woman that spoke on my panel at one of my Broad Shoulders events, which is kind of like in some ways like a sister version of the Mommy Collective, but we kind of branded as a place for high performing women to have conversations and right, just like you are, like you're convening around something like a universal experience. But I held a Mother's Day tea party in the South Loop of Chicago at the Studio Chicago, and Kalita, what's her name? Kalita, a girl named Kalita, Mama K Fit on Instagram, was a speaker, and she's amazing. I just met her through this network. We were looking for speakers, and my co-host recommended her. And what she reminded all of us is, what she did, what she explained so well, pardon me, I'm flubbing this, but was, and I learned from her in this like one single second, was the house is aware of where mom's at. Meaning this woman is so dedicated to her fitness, to her wellness, to her sense of calm as a mother, as a person, that even her kids understand that if mama's a little short, mama needs to go work out. That if mama is, not as kind or is taking, needs to create space, mama just needs to go for a drive. And so it's up to the husband and the kids and everybody have this sort of universal language around how she's doing, because she's really the soul of the house. And that's something I'm going to be actually like working towards in my couples counseling with our therapist. I want my husband to understand my emotional state, because it is very different every day. And I don't ever mean to be unkind. I don't ever mean to be short. But for some reason, there's just this element of like quickness. And my first reaction, I don't know why, chemicals, hormones, whatever, is that he's doing it wrong or it's frustrating, or like there's just this thing. And the joke that I've been telling is like, I was leaving the car with a bag full of groceries and the grocery bag broke, very cartoony. And I for some reason wanted to blame my husband. And I'm a very loving partner and wife and all of that. But there's just something in like the relationship. And again, I've socialized this with lots of women, so I'm fascinated by this, but I'm trying to create an environment where there's peace and there's happiness, and this isn't like chaos. So if we can create and make universally understood like my emotional state, and I can also understand the babies and my husband's, and when we're all overstimulated, when we need breaks, and like really just be honest so we can actually really enjoy our time together. That's like the balance I'm trying to strike through all this scheduling and seeking help, seeking clinical support.
No, yeah, I completely agree. And I actually love that advice too, because every day is different. Every day is so different. So, I think that's wonderful. And what about for you as far as like what's next, right? I know you mentioned that you are super like in focus mode. You're in grind mode. You took time off too, right? Post baby, I'm assuming. Oh my God, no, don't tell me.
No, no, it's good. It's good. I had a conversation with myself and with my clients. And I said, if anybody disturbs my peace, because I had really serious expectation setting all the way from November, December, January, baby came February 8th, due date was February 9th. So there was enough communication. And I said, if anybody disrupts my peace, they're dead to me. And I actually ended up firing a kind of new-ish client, because I'm savage at what I do, and I knew what I was setting up, and call me if there's a crisis, because I can absolutely manage a crisis portfolio, and that's absolutely my job. But so much of what we do is so proactive and brand building and storytelling and future forward. And we're already in Q1 2026 for a lot of our conversations and executing on Q2 right now. So I didn't technically take time off, but I also had like a lot of love and respect and support from my clients. And I wasn't going to turn off the well.
No, I hear you. I 100% hear you, but that makes me feel better. Okay. So you were very much good with everything and you
Yeah.
had like your setup and expectations, which is important. Boundaries, expectations. I love it. New
Yep.
mom, love it.
Yep.
So what is next for you as far as broad shoulders? And then
Yeah.
obviously, you know, your company, if you even are accepting new clients, people want to work with you, all that stuff.
Always. Yeah. I've discovered something that I think is a highly effective way to help people sort of launch or show up in new ways or reimagine. And this could be the corporate professional, this could be the consultant, the subject matter expert, the founder, the CEO. This could be launching products or services, the company's PR. And I've really boiled it down to very, 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 very simple tactics that seem to work for a wide range of people. And so when I think about the work I do, it's under the lens of PR, personal branding, and communications. We follow this 3-step methodology that really, again, really works. So who am I not to support anybody at any stage if they're willing to work? The litmus to work with me is you either have to trust me or have experience. Both is great. If not, if neither exists, we're not going to work together.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is experience in public relations or, you know, building brands is the best thing ever. Like we can get the most work done with people who really have done this. If they haven't, then there's a certain level of trust because there's creativity involved. And if there's no trust and no experience, again, it's not a right fit client for me. So knowing these two things, that I have a formula that works and then who I want to work with, has allowed for me to create services that really can serve anybody from a downloadable workbook that's 50 pages that comes with a phone call with me once they've completed it, that hopefully really, again, sets the tone for something new. We have to think differently about the way we show up. And again, I'm trying to streamline that and make it very tactical, very strategic, low maintenance, all the way up to people who obviously there's the higher ticket client when I'm managing the entire portfolio of a business or a brand. So there's a wide range. What's next for me is I love one-on-one and group support. But I'm actually finishing up a book. I write a periodical, a magazine. We're going to launch our next magazine very soon. And then really just creating more community. I found that like you and I can have a conversation around the Paulina brand and the Mommy Collective brand, but there's also probably other people that are building brands where it's, you know, local community around the Mommy Collective, universal ideas that could also, right? And I love the conversation of business models. How is Mommy Collective profitable without charging moms a ton, right? There's so many small businesses who will jump in and brands who will jump in and support what you're doing to interact with this audience. So I'm really enjoying the business growth side that I'm having conversation with my clients.
Nice.
And then there's also a sense of just community and camaraderie where I could really live my personal brand without a sales funnel experience. Just like with you with Mommy Collective, with Broad Shoulders, I just want to keep building. I mean, tonight we're hosting a dinner at Beatnik on the River, a very small group of high performing women, all the way from an executive at Exelon to the president of the League of Railway Women in the railroad business. And my interns will be joining. So it'll be a really nice mix. And we're going to talk about universal things. So just creating spaces, creating environments, creating community all across the country. My main markets are, I'm going to be moving into San Francisco market this year, but I mostly show up in New York, DC, Chicago, and Atlanta. Just cities that I've just learned to love. So more of the same, more education, more free resources, more ideas, more opportunities. And again, services from $0 informational things to $20 dinners to $20 events that I think can help bridge the gap in some way for people. Who am I not to share this? And so, and make it fun. Like I love experiences. So way too many words for to answer your question, but that's the direction I'm going in.
I love it. No, I literally did not expect anything less. So I'm so excited for you. You and I are definitely talking offline because I have some other things I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
But I am so grateful for you being here and taking the time out of your day. Where can we follow you? Where can we follow Broad Shoulders, everything else going on? Where can we do that?
Yeah, my main page is LinkedIn and I'm Tamara Edwards. And then Instagram and it's Tamara Edwards, ITSTAMARA EDWARDS. And yeah, my page is really just a testament and sort of a story of me building my business, sort of observing my, someone had described it as like a silent film, and showing some behind the scenes of what goes into it. I think we are so hard on ourselves and so many people are good at producing the end product. I actually show, I document how I'm building things, and I think that can help teach people. So that's what that's all about. And then that'll link to everything else that I've got going on.
I love it. Cool. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.